Call meeting order, salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag,
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want to read the minutes over, Mark?
Yeah.
Guys,
Is that truck still plugged in out there?
I don't think it's plugged in inside, is it?
Okay, I don't know, I just went out and drove, I see the cord's out to it.
Cord's still out there, so it doesn't get
Okay.
lost or whatever, but I don't think it's plugged in inside. It's been unplugged for quite some time because the batteries are dead and it won't even think you do anything.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Any further comment first? Public comment first.
Oh, that's right. Any public comments?
Visitors.
Anybody?
A little new here, so my name's Jeremiah. Just moved in about 15 months ago, and just wanted to bring up here tonight about the project going on pretty much in my backyard. RAS water.
Questions about it, or?
Well, concerns. I guess I'll ask what permits did they apply for through you guys?
Nothing through us. They have DEP, and they've applied for everything through the county and DEP and through the state that they have.
And nothing has actually been approved, and they are building already.
Nothing. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Conservation and things have been.
DEP has not approved to even start it. This is the permit. It's still on hold. How do we go about stopping it?
Have you contacted DEP?
Yeah, they've already told them to stop 3 times and they still keep coming back and start working again.
Okay.
Who's the guy that was, do you remember the guy that was here?
Andrew and his dad. So I guess we will contact
Yeah, we better
them
get a hold of them.
and reach out to them. And then if they do not say anything to us, then a letter from Caldwell.
Because from what I'm reading here in the copy of the permit that they have to follow all the guidelines. I just got this today from Lisa, the DEP.
Okay.
They're encroaching on my property and borderline, which the creek is on my side of the property, which runs right down on the north side of it. I didn't print the picture out, but proposed plan was 2 storage areas, and the first thing that they already dug a foundation out for is already 50% bigger than what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Where are they going to put a second one? Right up against me. So that puts it within that 100 feet, or excuse me, 300 feet of my property line, within 50 feet of the creek, and within 300 feet of my dwelling and the well. All saying they can't do that without a waiver. They already claim they have a signed waiver from me. They do not. Dutch, De Bruin, Marinus,
Okay.
signed a waiver. You know what he thought he was signing? As a witness that the lane was 200 feet away from his barn. Marinus doesn't even own that barn. He didn't even know what he signed. He can't read English.
So that was before he sold anything to Chris Palmer? Or that's still his property?
No, it's not, but he doesn't exactly remember that.
Further down the agenda,
is, plans that the county has gave them preliminary approval for conditional, originally granted for the planning for outstanding items that they satisfied permitting to the amendment for their 5-year construction period that ends in January 16th of 2029. It's not constitute as final approval, so that they have the containment area for the water storage tanks and everything for their permitting for the mapping. If you want to look at this that we have.
Because initially, about 3 months after we moved in, they wanted to buy the 8 acres across the river, the old cemetery is.
Okay. So this is not giving any.
188 feet, 24 and a half.
So where's the creek?
But this
at?
is on
Where's
the other
creek
side.
at?
This,
So
this is Spencer, this is the
Okay.
barn. So this here already, from what I was seeing, is supposed to be more this way to be able to hold a second tank. From what I'm seeing now, this is the creek, purple. And right here. The blue. The blue is the creek. Okay, right? Where's the
This is not giving any
indication?
indication of anything.
It's been a while since I read these.
And then these little small
Okay.
things.
So here would be my property line. And this is sister. So, yeah, this would be the creek. So this is the creek line, right through here. And this here should be, where's my scale on that? That's not very helpful.
I'm not giving anything.
So where's Route 14?
This is 14 right here.
That?
This is 14. Over here's the old cemetery.
Yeah,
This is my 8 acres here.
okay.
Property line, Marinus' sister, and well, that's his sister too, as long as Marinus is. So the creek apparently is coming along here, this blue line. If I had a scale of 1 to 50, 1 inch to 50 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're saying this is supposed to be about 100 feet from the creek. It's not.
Okay.
It's roughly right up against it. Now they tried pushing the wall of stone back up over to get that 100 feet. They're still nowhere near it. This tank is already down in here for as big as it is. There's not going to be room for a secondary tank, and this is supposed to be containment area, which is maybe 2.5 feet at the most in height. There's no way this is going to contain 2 of these that ever spills and ruptures. That's going to go right down the creek, right down into Wanda and elsewhere. Is it Brent Conservation Ground for the county?
County? Oh,
Joe Quattrini is
Quattrini?
for conservation.
I talked to a
Tim
guy
Robson.
named Brent, very hard to understand his name.
Oh, it's not Quattrini then.
What did he say?
You don't like it, F and move.
Huh?
I just moved there. I asked him if he was gonna buy the property, and he goes, no, I don't wanna live next to it.
We need to make sure that things are being done the way they're supposed to be done.
Right.
And I assumed that it was being done the way it's supposed to be, but apparently it isn't. We need to get a hold of that. I'm just trying to find I was thinking he left some paperwork here, with us, but I can't remember what month he was here.
Back in the fall.
Yeah.
I have an email address.
Well,
Give
here's
it-
a
Yeah, give it to her because she's a,
RES water, and then here is, yes. And then here is county commissioners, USB drive containing complete permit package to DEP, code. So here's everything that they said that they submitted to DEP.
So DEP won't back up on anything?
Oh, they're frustrated. They're pretty pissed off.
Oh.
They weren't even supposed to start yet.
They were here in November 2023. Matt Kaczynski is the president and CEO of
And then Andy,
RES.
or Andrew,
Andrew's the, yeah.
his dad.
One's the CEO, and I believe Andrew is the surveyor.
Matthew is president and CEO,
Yeah,
according
Matt.
to this letter.
That's what I reported at the time. I'm just looking at my old story.
What worries me is we have all these restrictions in place by DEP according to the permit papers, and they're already encroaching on everything right here against me.
November 7th.
Plus the fact that they, Colin Marinus and signed a 300-foot waiver, because if he wouldn't sign that, they wouldn't be doing anything either.
He don't own any land there, does he?
just as where his house is.
Just where his house?
And this would be within 300 feet.
Across the road.
Something that I found funny though too is when we bought the place, one of the people that used to own it 10, 15 years ago, and I forget who else it was, that said, well, if you would have planned on building there this now, you wouldn't have been able to because you can't see 500 feet in either direction. And you can't. So how is this possible? This in and out. Because right here,
Well, the state would-
you can't see shit past that barn, and they're not tearing it down. That's supposed to be office.
That's what he told us, they were gonna stay there, they were gonna use it.
that somebody's gonna be there 24/7. The offices were gonna be at some point, and
Yeah.
then they were gonna be somebody there 24/7.
But we need to get a hold of the guy or have Arnie call him. Hopefully Arnie will get right on it, because sometimes you don't get too big a hurry.
They just took his wife to the hospital.
Oh, really?
Man, I'm not here to be a complete jerk. I'm here to keep the value in my home too. Because
Right.
nobody's gonna buy it. I could walk away from it, let the bank take it, and guess what? Ain't nobody gonna buy it. Except them. Now they went and did that to Dutch. He was basically the only thing holding this back.
I'm sure he's not happy.
No. Like I said, he didn't understand what he was signing.
So I guess what do we need to do? We need to get a hold of these people, or get Arnie to get a hold of them, or?
Well,
I mean,
We
no offense, Matt Brandon's the township attorney, correct?
Arnie Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Caldwell's their solicitor is who they would get a hold of.
Okay. So, maybe they need to get involved too a little bit because of what just happened to Dutch and what's going on here, and already encroaching on the property line.
Okay, well, we'll do what we can. We wanna make sure it's right. We don't,
And the last thing I wanna do is move, but then somebody's gonna be paying for it, in my opinion.
right. Well, if they're doing
Not
something
you
wrong, they
guys.
should.
Should
No,
be them,
I know,
of course.
I know.
Yeah.
You're being nice about it.
If they're not on the up and up, then
Yeah, they need to make sure. They told us that how many they had 5 or 6 of these around, and they have had no complaints.
Probably shut
But
up.
somebody else, I told that to somebody else and said, well, they all tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, is it supposed to be enclosed or open? Because I really don't know of too many that are enclosed and be able to not have any kind of stink or pressure or anything like that. I mean, it's been years since I've been over at Antrim, but that wasn't exactly a breath of fresh air.
Nothing's gonna be open. I think from what I understood, it's only gonna be one big,
storage. It
one
was
big
not
storage.
going to be processing.
Right.
Yeah.
was supposed to be
It's
storage.
Flowback water treatment facility is what,
Storage,
treatment,
storage,
treatment,
storage.
treatment.
Presented to us as storage.
Okay. Presented
That's what
as
they said.
treatment.
Well,
This is what I'm getting at. There's too many variables in between here and the state. Yeah.
well,
So one of they got a permit to get the driveways in, or else they don't, because they just did it without getting a permit.
State would have to give them a permit.
Yeah, state had to give them one thing.
This is just a copy of what they're supposed to be applying for and all the regulations.
And we would have been out of that because it's a state route.
Yeah, well, not only that, it's municipal waste. So. Flowback water treatment facility is what they are permitting for, not storage.
Storage, correct?
That's what I remember.
That's what I remember.
well, that's what they told us, but.
And I'm saying, that's what they told you.
That's what they
And
told
I
us, but.
I looked through my notes, I don't have anything
Yeah,
in my notes.
that's, I mean, I get
I'm-
that.
I'm
I mean, I'm not
gonna
gonna
write my
argue
notes
what they
as I
said to you, what
Right.
they, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm
What
trying
they
to
said
say
to
is-
us and what they're doing are two different things. then.
Exactly, that's the whole
They
point.
said they've never had any reportable instances,
Right.
which caught me off a little bit.
Well, if you don't
And-
report it, it's not reportable.
I can't remember much else, but I'll be looking at my video tonight.
Well,
We'll see what Arnie can do.
Call Lisa at DEP, I think she left you a message too, she said.
No, I did not hear from Lisa
Okay.
from
I
DEP.
can give you her
And
number.
I'm very sorry. I do remember getting your message, and I got every one of your numbers except for the last one. So I
0. Big 0.
and I want and I was attempted to call every combination.
Well, you would have pissed 9 people off.
Some days that's a good day. Other days it's not so good. I know a couple of people at DEP. I'm sure if they cannot point me in the correct direction, they probably will attempt to point me in the correct direction. Do you have Lisa's?
I have her number, yeah.
Okay. Let me give you email address.
Need a piece of paper.
No, I'll just write on back of the notes unless they have to go back in.
No.
Okay,
Canton Township. Township spelled out.
okay.
Bradford CO at outlook.com. So if you can email that to me, then I will contact her. Use my contact at Conservation and DEP and see what else I can find out. And then I will contact Attorney Caldwell and see what we can do by contacting these individuals and see what we can get
All right,
accomplished.
okay.
Okay?
All right.
And find out a little bit more and see if we can get some answers and maybe have them pause a little bit to find out what is actually going on before it gets too far.
Well, Lisa told me today that as of Wednesday, they were supposed to be paused, Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday as in this coming Wednesday or last Wednesday?
This past
Okay.
Wednesday, which it did happen Thursday and Friday, which were 2 lovely days that I would have rather been at home instead of at work. There was nothing going on. Now, nothing happened until roughly 10 o'clock this morning, and a couple guys showed up and started putting the rebar back together for the foundations again. And I had to run to Williamsport for 2 hours until I came back. They were leaving. Only because I called Lisa and said, hey, they just showed up and started putting rebar forms together to drop it down in for the foundation.
What's the trucking company?
Well, that was actually Cuz, which I found out is owned by Moore.
Chris Moore and
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah.
Ward.
So Cuz was in there, Cuz Concrete
Wait,
was sitting on the truck. So. I don't know if they ended up making another phone call and said, hello, what were you told to do, not to do, and chased them off that or what. But,
So that's local.
mhm.
Well, see what we can do.
See what we can find out. Okay.
Okay, we'll open the bids for gravel.
Anything else commenting before we move on?
Thank you for the time.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the information.
I'll argue with you later about what it's gonna be.
The information or what are we arguing about later?
What it's gonna be called.
Well, I have a good idea of what I want to call it right now, but
Okay, go ahead.
I have,
The Crystal, $11 a ton. Armenia quarry.
and that's 2A, yes.
Yep. P gravel. Picked up at P is $9.50, delivered $14.95. Tailgated $15.95. About look like it's stony.
That's in Monroe, though, right?
West Rankin. This is from Hallbaker. It's probably over in Ellington. Minier Quarry in Maston Road, 1180 for, at the plant, 1920 delivered. Delivered as tailgated 21.
I don't know if it, I think that's just an open it, but I don't think that's a bid. I think that is a.
We used your old address.
So it's a gas company thing, I think. Yeah, that's enough. Not a bid.
So which bid do we want to take?
I want to do
Crystal.
the Crystal, I would think, because Bob doesn't like the P&P, right?
No, he doesn't.
Well, and then even though it's the cheapest, carting it from West Franklin's not gonna be
No.
the most responsible part of it.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Crystal's bid.
I'll second it.
How much gravel are we gonna need? Is that?
Well, we got a pile here now.
We're just getting 5,000 ton.
Ain't no fuel bids.
No fuel bids.
We done it twice now?
We did twice.
Okay.
The Christmas is picked up, right?
Right on board, yes.
Okay.
$11 a ton for Armenia. So we'll be doing a hauling bid next week.
Okay, road reform report.
Started cleaning ditches like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and been kind of busy at that every day so far. And today we swept a bunch of roads, and hopefully it doesn't rain. We can finish cleaning ditches and be ready for renewal. They said like the 1st of June. They was down and marked road and everything. So he's worried about getting that done. He's worried about because we don't have the stones or whatever for the cold patch and stuff yet, so we can get holes and whatnot fixed. But I said, I don't know when, is that already bid or coming, or what's the deal with them, do you know?
Did we buy that from Stars? Coal Stars?
We're going to do the hauling next week. So then he should be able to get his DSA and everything from TMT and whatever to make his coal patch. So the haulers are going to be able to run ragged getting the material in
Okay.
to make his coal patch and his stabilized
Yeah,
gravel
he
by
was
the end
worried
of the
about
month.
that.
So we're opening those bids next Monday.
Yes.
Trucking bids, yeah.
And then they'll start, so they'll be happy that he get started on it, and hopefully we can have it done.
Because you
by
have
1st of
some coal
June.
patch out there, right?
Pick up loads,
With it.
that's it. Yeah, there's not much out there. There's not much out there. I don't know how much we're gonna use, it's, you know what I mean, it's new to me. I don't know if we go through a lot of it, or I don't know.
Well, according to Keogh, the spots on Mill Road and McFadden is not going to take very much
Not gonna take much, good.
to skim out and get prepared.
And then, as far as you know, they're still planning on 1st of June too, starting?
That is what Murphy said.
That's what he said,
And I
yeah.
said, is that okay with Bob? And he said, that's what I said.
Well, if we-
But I'm sure that if they don't have the coal patch and the spots are not fixed to Mr. Petrowski's satisfaction, then I'm sure that they can reschedule it at some point.
That was my next question, I was supposed to ask if he doesn't have it ready, if they can do it later on or whatever, so
Yes.
I'll tell him that, I will. Other than that, I guess everything's good for me.
Because didn't we talk about when we were trying to figure out how much coal patch, that what Bob was figuring to do the spots was kind of. That's it?
We loaded it down, didn't we? Lowered it down.
Well, when we bid it out, it was 1,000 tons,
Yeah.
because usually it's in the normal construction year that when we do things, it's usually 500 ton of stabilized
Of each
gravel
one.
and 500 of
Yeah.
coal patch. And he wanted 1,000 coal patch
Yeah.
because he thought that it needed that amount for the spots
Yeah.
before the bridge on McMurray and whatever on Mill Road.
McFadden too.
But what in the proposal, it wasn't even a ton, maybe 2 ton or
Yeah.
whatever that Keogh was thinking for both places. So,
It'll be good.
So we know more about it next week.
yes.
What was business?
I looked at the emergency operation plan. Did you guys look?
I skimmed through it.
Yeah.
Can we adopt it? Is it off the agenda?
No choice, do we?
Huh?
We don't have a choice anyhow, do we?
We can come up with our own if you want to.
Well, I don't
No.
think-
I make a motion that we.
I mean, it took
accept
us a couple of months to actually, read through the one that was provided for us. I don't know how long it would take us to come up with our own.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, thanks. So, I have it here. Whew. Okay. And I will make sure I get with Kale to do the other part of it to make sure all of that is buttoned up. Okay. So I did get says that this is not a bill from ENC Insurance, that the quote for the property liability insurance, that instead of whatever was in the packet, it's the minimum due of $24,089. So it's a little bit more from last year, but it is less than what he was quoting at the meeting. I think it was 28,000 or something.
No, I thought it was 26, but still too much, really. But too much. What are you gonna do?
So whatever he did, because I think he took off.
Well, he did
for
change, said he was gonna change something.
Yeah, because the haulers are their own insurance, because they're contracted to us, so it's just the automobiles that we own that is on the commercial autos instead of the hauler. So it is up a little from last year, but lower than the quote. So there is that. And Canton Borough Authority has sent that they have notified Canton Township that the Canton Borough Authority intends to apply for the renewal of the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit. Nothing is required, they just want that it's been received and the date that it was received.
So we have some correspondence here, Rapid County Sanitation.
That they received the non-planning, or the planning waiver non-building declaration for Allen and Theodore Irwin and Jay and Faye Goods of their subdivision. And then appreciation shows for Steve Shannon and the equipment show. You guys want to go to that? 5 years ago.
He was talking about it the other day.
We'll put you guys down.
I'm sure he went to go.
Are you?
I'll wait and see.
Okay.
When's it?
RSVP by July 31st, and it's August 22nd.
22nd.
You wanna go? It's in Blossburg.
I don't know, it's too far away.
Island Park.
Oh, wait, no.
Then I have a survey for health insurance, and then can we maintain our traffic signals?
Yep.
Bobby Homer has his veterans exemption renewed. And then subdivision for Alan Kendall.
You got land in Canton Township?
No,
It's right there on the line.
that's what I was
Wait a
wondering.
minute, no. Yeah, his house is. No, that's not his
No.
house. That's somebody else.
He might have something right on the line, but it's not in Canton
Well, it's
Township.
right up there with Jay and Faye and,
Well, then there's that next house, and then he's right there on the corner,
Yeah, I know where he is.
but he don't pay taxes in Canton Township.
oh, third.
I don't see what he's doing. Let's see this right here. A, B, and C lots. Oh, he does have a little bit in Canton Township, where it is right here. Lot C. 'Cause there's Laby's house.
But since the bulk of his property is in Granville,
Granville.
that's where he pays his taxes.
Yep. So we just sign it.
I thought the line was like right there where that old house of Jay's, right in that area somewhere, very light.
There's a sign there.
Saying there, you know,
I think that's it.
it kind of goes over half of Ferguson's Pond or something, too, is the Canton or something, and the way it goes across here somewhere is, I know there's a sign either just before Livy's or just, but there's a place, a little marker
I
there,
think it runs back of Ivy's.
and goes across, you know.
Signs right here.
When's the next fire meeting?
June 11th.
You ever get that new truck?
I believe they were supposed to have it. I think they have it by now.
June 11th?
Yeah, but here's all the paperwork from the fire meeting. There's I don't know if you call it a feud or disagreement going on between the borough and the fire company. I don't know what the borough wants. They wanted a financial audit. Then they gave them what they wanted, and now I guess that wasn't what they wanted, so it's up to, they gotta get the attorneys involved, I guess. So, it's always been a problem, the borough and the fire company, and probably always gonna be.
Technically, they wanted a financial review, not a full-on audit,
Well,
because I
there's,
guess those are two different terms.
And the thing of it is, we get it every month, they give us, or they give us a copy of all the bills,
Canton
and the
had-
balances and everything. I don't know what more they want.
Canton had an issue with those miscellaneous expenses.
Yeah, they wanna know exactly what everything was spent for. Well, you don't really have to do that when you do your taxes. Miscellaneous is miscellaneous.
Yeah, for an
there's a
independent
thing in the
thing.
borough code that they're trying to go by, but I don't know if they actually know what it is, and
Yeah.
so they just been making up as they go.
Municipalities
I
can't
think they
do
finally got it
that.
figured out, but
Yeah.
the fire
I hope
department's
so.
so pissed off now that
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, they haven't, it all started because they were gonna get the new truck. And the fire contracts were gonna go up. And George Jennings was on the borough council, he was at the fire meeting, he knew that it was going up. Why didn't he say something to him?
Mm.
Nothing was ever said. The next thing you know, it's going up $2,000 a year or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what they're going up.
They're paying
3,000
$3,000 more. Canton Borough is.
And everybody else, all the other municipalities, also there's 6 of them, we're all okay with it, but Canton Borough isn't.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I guess.
So are the premiums being paid so they can respond to calls?
Well, they're responding to calls, but from what I understand, they're gonna have to bill the borough for their services because the borough.
They don't have a signed contract.
They don't have a
but-
signed contract, and the law says they're supposed to have one.
Right.
At Canton Borough's one meeting, they approved paying last year's rate and at some point in the year, making up the difference.
Right, because they said, I said to Dean, is your budget that tight? And he goes, it's tight, and I go, well, then you got a problem, because if you ain't got an extra $3,000 sitting around somewhere for an emergency, then you got a big problem, you
They're
better
not
do something.
opening up the pool like they got.
Yeah, are they gonna do that or not?
No.
they basically can't at this point. They're just pretending that it's a possibility, but it's pretty much impossible.
Well, everybody will have their own pool, they won't need it.
Everybody just goes to Blossburg.
Yeah.
And Mount
Or
Pisgah.
Pisgah.
Yep.
That's too bad.
Maybe
So that's
Canton
30,000.
Township should open up a public pool.
Yeah.
Good luck getting
Yeah.
Indoor one.
Right south of the house would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
It's already flat and level.
At least it'd be sanitary, right? Be all full of chlorine.
Exactly.
Well, we have plenty of money, so we can pay the rest of the contract for the year, so we are covered.
Well, we don't have to pay it for the whole year. We just
No.
gotta pay it quarterly.
Right,
Yeah.
but we paid it for the first and second quarter, and, Michelle gave us $144,123.45 today, so.
I don't know. We go out on the town. It won't last long, that's for sure.
No. We paid it for the.
So anyways,
second
that's, you can keep that stuff. Nobody
quarter. More
else,
paper, thank you.
nobody else has ever asked for that forever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not anything, we've never asked for their financial reports or anything. It's like,
We trust them to do what they need to do with their
Right.
organization.
and I don't want their job, so,
Exactly.
for free.
What else we got?
That's all I got.
We're done.
And I got my question answered, so I'm good.
Meeting's adjourned then, right?
I think we're adjourned.